I've seen this before. Who is that?
That's the guy.
What guy?
You know, the guy we were trying to get to do Nazi stuff. You know, come on, do Nazi stuff.
Oh yeah. Still haven't been able to get him to do Nazi stuff.
Now, will we keep trying?
Look out for Charlie.
I wonder if he'd be willing to do just a little bit of Nazi stuff. Rats.
Okay, I want to go into the Colt Gray situation that happened in Georgia. A few days ago, I received a text message from one of my friends, and it was a screen cap, and the screen cap reads, "Shooting at Georgia High School, suspect in custody," okay? So, right away, I said, watch, it will be like Parkland. And the dad will own guns, and the dad will have tried to teach the kid how to use them or bought him one. That's what I said, right? And what do you know? It came out right after that gun allegedly used in Georgia's school shooting was a Christmas present, sources say. See, if you if you have any pattern recognition skills at all, you're going to see exactly what happens in these before it happens, right? See, we should have terrorists attacking and gay serial killers running around, right? Like the Dahmers and the Gacy's and all that. And people like Colt Gray all happening at the same time, but it doesn't work like that. They come in phases, like a sitcom that goes on the air and ends after 7 years or a decade, right? And then something else comes along, takes its place, and it goes on and on and on. Right now, for the last 10 years, it's been this constantly. And every single one of them is using an AR rifle. I want to get into this deeper, but first I want to show you something. Now, I said in the text message that it was going to be like Parkland, all right? Now, they're saying that Colt Gray had an obsession with the Parkland shooting, strangely. Now, I want to take you back to the Parkland shooting. Let's check out Nicholas Cruz as he's being arrested.
What's going on? What's going on today, bro?
Voices.
Okay, let's go back to that real quick. He was arrested outside the school walking down the street, and he's pulled over by the police and basically tackled, taken down, and arrested. You see that he's wearing a maroon shirt with like a teal shirt on underneath that and some black jeans. Now, let me take you to the teacher that survived and talked about that shooting. Let's go to it.
Teacher Stacy Lapel's class was playing music, writing love letters when the fire alarm went off. As students filed into the hallway, she heard gunfire.
I was about 2 feet away from my door. All of a sudden, I heard gunshots in the stairwell, which is about 20 feet away from my room. And then kids were screaming and then running back towards me and towards the end of the hallway. So I just went in this very strange autopilot mode where I pivoted on my feet. I unlocked my door, and then kids just started pouring in my room. I don't know how many kids were in there, but I was pulling them and getting them in and shouting at them to get in the room. And then I suddenly saw the shooter about 20 feet from me, standing at the end of the hallway, actively shooting down the hallway, just a barrage of bullets. And I'm staring at him thinking, why is the police here? This is strange, because he's in full metal garb, helmet, face mask, bulletproof armor.
Okay, helmet, face mask, bulletproof armor. Where in the hell did that kid being arrested with a hoodie and a teal shirt on and some black jeans, what did he do? Where did he get all this bulletproof armor and shielding and a mask, and what did he do with it afterwards to just be found walking down the street? And when they asked him what he's doing, he didn't say he shot people. He said voices and demons, right? It's very, very bizarre. This has happened multiple times, and it's just very strange. Now, I brought that up because I want to get into some anomalies, and it's just weird stuff with this whole Colt Gray situation. They're talking about Colt Gray being this basically like some type of martyr that wanted, you know, gay and trans acceptance. This is really, really weird shit. Let me show you a video of Colt Gray and his dad out together that I was able to dig up. Now, this is him and his dad hunting together. And this was 2023. This is less than a year ago. This is like 9 or 10 months before the shooting. Now listen to what the dad says about guns, what they say together, because they're trying to depict him as being like abused and all this shit. It's very, very strange. Let's check this out.
2023, the first ever deer hunt for me and Colt. He's hunting with a 450 Bushmaster.
And that's very strange. He's hunting with a Bushmaster, and this looks like it was put online on Facebook or on YouTube or somewhere, right? Very strange. That'll get you put on radar. So there's a kid hunting with a Bushmaster, which he is perfectly allowed to do under adult supervision. So let's keep going.
107 yards, and let's go take a look. I'll follow you, sir. I see white.
He's carrying the gun correctly. He's not acting like a retard.
Holy crap. Look at that, brother. Go ahead and lay your rifle down on it like we had. Other way, barrel up.
See,
Yep, so you get...
he's correcting how he's holding the gun and what he's doing as well. So when he puts the barrel down at the ground, his dad tells him to put it up so that the barrel doesn't get mud in it.
Mud in the barrel. Okay, it's okay. Lay that gun down like
It's okay. He's not being a dick about it.
we had it for the picture. All right, remember it's still loaded.
You hear that? Remember, it's still loaded. So he's carefully putting it out in that direction.
Okay, beautiful. All right, lean down there and hold that head up. Let me see what you busted this morning. January 8th on your first ever deer hunt. Big old giant 3-pointer. Amazing. Look at that. Look at that, son. What a hell of a shot.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How'd that 450 do? Did it kick hard? You couldn't even feel it, could you?
Nope.
What a shot. Hey, I love you, son.
Yep. I love you more.
Greatest day.
I love you more. This depicts two completely different people than what they are trying to portray in the media. Completely different people. Dads just don't go, I love you, some asshole dad. They don't say that kind of shit, man. They don't. I've seen it a million times. I know people whose dads have probably never told them that.
Shot. Hey, I love you, son.
Yep. I love you more.
Greatest day.
Yep.
All right, Mama. Hopefully you'll love this just as much as we do.
Yep.
See you later.
See.
And then the mom talks about the fact that she's proud of him. First hunt ever, first shot ever, one and done, deer down. So it's a little weird. Now, I want you to listen very, very carefully to what they are saying about Colt Gray. The news is saying this. It's very important to hear this.
Yeah, Ron, the Barrow County Sheriff telling us that Colt Gray only enrolled about 2 weeks ago, and actually yesterday was only his second day as a student.
Okay, he enrolled in the school 2 weeks ago, and yesterday was his second day. So he had only been to school for 1 day. And all these people have stories about him. How does that happen? This is in front of the school. Lights are still on. They're interviewing this woman about the patterns and the behavior of Colt Gray, like he was a longtime student of the school. Check this out.
Said there was a pattern with this particular student that even your daughter noticed. Can you tell us and the viewers about
a pattern in front of the school? They're not going around interviewing neighbors or people from another city. This is in front of the school. And they're talking about a pattern that he's had. He's been to school for 1 day before this.
About that pattern?
From what my daughter told me, he comes to class and he'll sign out to use the bathroom but not take the pass. And he'll leave class and sometimes he'll come back and sometimes he won't. And today that's what he did. He was there when she got in class, and then he went and signed out and said he was going to the bathroom but didn't take the pass and left the classroom. And a little bit later, that's when he started shooting.
How are people getting this information about him? He has been to school for 1 day. You just heard it. And then here's another story. This
Did he
is
ever
a
say
serious
anything?
anomaly.
No, he never really talked. He was pretty quiet.
He never really talked. He was pretty quiet. This is in front of the school. He has been to school there for 1 day.
He wasn't there most times. Either he just didn't come to school or he just would skip class.
What are they talking about, dude? I'm not following this at all. When you put the facts together, it's just weird.
But even when he would have talked, it was one-word answers or just short statements.
You told me off camera you weren't surprised that he would be the shooter. Why is that?
Just because when you think of like shooters and how they act or things that they do, it's usually the quiet kid or like that's a stereotype for it to be, and he was the one that...
Jesus, man. There's something wrong with this. It's just weird. 1 day he was at school and they know him better than he does. Now, there were calls that went out earlier that day saying that 5 different schools were going to be targeted. Who made those calls? You think that Colt Gray made those calls to 5 schools and told them that they were going to be targeted? I mean, come on, man. They can trace the calls. They would know.
You said that you believe there was a call that came in earlier today that gave them an alert, and they might have actually already been looking for the student when the shooting happened?
From what everybody's saying, there was a call at 9:30 this morning. A school female worker came looking for the kid about 10 to 15 minutes before he came back and started shooting. They got the wrong kid. They had the names mixed up.
They had the names mixed up. How did they have the names mixed up? How many kids out there are named Colt Gray? It's just weird. There are anomalies. There are anomalies. You know, these people just happened to put a 2023 deer hunt online with an AR Bushmaster. An AR does not stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite. Okay, there's no such thing as an assault rifle, period. Assault rifles do not exist. If you use that term, you're a moron. There are no assault rifles. An Armalite rifle is a sporting rifle. It can be broke down. You can put them together like Legos. They're like Legos. That's all it is. Let's go into this Colt Gray thing a little bit further, because I want to talk to you about what the neighbors said.
The latest on the suspect. Within the last few hours, we received the first picture of 14-year-old Colt Gray. This is a yearbook photo that a parent shared with 11 Alive, picture taken 2 years ago when he was in middle school. Gray was booked overnight facing murder charges, and he will be tried as an adult.
Cheryl, he'll make his first court appearance tomorrow morning at the Borough County Courthouse. Already investigators are combing through evidence in connection to Colt Gray. Now, 11 Alive, we went to his home yesterday, which is about 6 miles away from Appalachia High School, where we saw ATF investigators. They spent hours going in and out of his home. Now, we spoke to a neighbor who lives across the street from him, and she says she only would see his younger siblings and his dad and wasn't aware that he lived at the home until yesterday when she saw him waiting for the bus the first time.
Okay. The neighbors weren't even aware that this kid lived at the house until they saw him waiting for the school bus. Now, that's very important, the school bus, okay? This is his second day of school.
Now, until today, the neighbor directly across the street never even knew a teenager lived at this home, only seeing his 2 younger siblings around, but never Colt Gray until this morning.
He had on jeans, a dark or black zip-up hoodie with the hood up, and a black backpack. I don't know. I just felt odd.
It felt odd because you've been watching fucking Antifa shit on the news, lady. Listen to me. The kid was waiting for a school bus. The neighbor sees him waiting for the school bus. He's wearing black hoodie, black backpack. So what? Lots of kids dress in black. But the big point here is he's wearing a black backpack, taking the school bus. How did he get the AR to school? The smallest AR configuration is like around 32 inches. They weren't carrying AR pistols. It was an AR rifle. You cannot fit that in a backpack. Period. You can't even fit an AR pistol in a backpack unless you break it down into pieces. So, how did he get the AR to school? The kid just magically has an AR. How are you going to get that on the bus and to school on the second day? It's weird, man. Let's let her keep going with her black clothing shit.
So hours later, this starts unfolding, and then my grandson sends me a picture that's one of the students at Appalachia snapped of the shooter when he had his gun in his hand, and he said, "Gigi, is this who you saw?" And that was the boy.
Okay, that was the boy. But she's not asking herself the most important question. Why didn't he have the rifle at the bus stop? And how did he get the rifle to school? If he's taking the bus, it makes no sense. It's an AR. You can't magically hide it. They're big rifles. They're almost 3 feet long, man. Almost 3 feet long. Where the fuck did he put it? This is insanity. There are so many anomalies. And once again, the FBI had their eyes on this guy beforehand for threats that he denied ever even saying. So what's up with that?
The FBI confirming Colt Gray was flagged by their National Threat Operations Center last year, accused of making online threats tied to shooting up a high school. The FBI says the Jackson County Sheriff's Office tracked those threats down to Colt Gray. They went to his home, spoke to his father and to Colt as well. Now, his father told them these were his hunting guns and that Colt never had unsupervised access to these guns. Colt also denied making those threats online.
So he denied making the threats online. Totally. And there's a good chance that he didn't. You think that people can't spoof IP addresses now? Come on, man. And then the FBI has their eye on this guy, and this happens, and it's all weird. How did he get the AR to the school? How did he get the AR on a school bus? How did he fit the AR in a backpack? Come on, man. These are common sense questions. Common sense. And then it turns out someone is saying that using GPS, the same dirtbag retired FBI special agent we've linked to other shooters was within 1,000 feet of this shooter's mobile devices 11 times in 14 months. That is not a coincidence. Whoever posted it, if that's true, it's not a coincidence. It gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And somehow now these guns are magically showing up at these places. This lady, this neighbor, watches this kid at the school, waiting for the school bus, and he does not have the weapon on him. So how did he get it there, taking the school bus? You know, it just gets weirder and weirder, man. There is something up with this. You know it. I know it. Dogs know it. And that's it for now. Look out for Charlie.
Come on, do Nazi stuff.
Look out for Charlie.